I'm gonna finish the essay I was reading to you guys, then go on to the other essay, and maybe a little bit of my new work. Just waiting for a little bit of you guys to join before I start. I don't want to be reading to nobody, even though I know you guys, some of you guys might watch this live stream after I upload it instead of watching it live. I'll wait until it gets to at least 1 minute long before I start. Turn on the lighting in my room. Hello to that one person who joined. Just gonna wait for one more person to join before I start reading. Don't want to be reading to nobody. Or just one person. Oh. Well, I guess I'll start now. Even though that one person just left. Or maybe I'll wait for one more person to join. Okay, just one person to join, please. And then I'll start. And then I'll keep reading. Okay, here we go. Just had to do something. Wait, was my mic muted the whole time? I have no idea. I hope not. Yeah, so, I'm not gonna say that, said, death leaves a heartache no one can heal, love leaves a memory no one can steal. This example shows how losing my grandpa helped me grow as a person by making me more appreciative with the time I spent with him. I had to learn how to navigate through my denial and depression. In conclusion, the loss of my grandpa taught me how to cherish the time I had with him, which helped me grow personally. The destiny. In summary, change is important for personal growth in different ways. One way is by meeting new people, which can be hard, especially for those with a disability like autism, but it helps improve social skills and supports personal growth. Another way is adapting to new situations, like when parents get divorced, which teaches children to become more independent. Finally, dealing with the death of a loved one is very sad, but it helps people appreciate the time they have with one another and encourage one another and encourages personal growth by allowing them to reflect on the feelings that bonds them and the bonds they shared. Change is important for personal growth because it brings challenges that helps us develop social skills, adjust to new situations, and improve the time we have together. As we face new challenges in life, we learn that change is not just a part of the journey, but also this is a little cheesy, but also a necessary part of the destination. And that is the end of my explanatory essay. Now, writing a narrative essay is not going to be as boring as you guys probably found my explanatory essay a little bit boring, but that's fine if some of you didn't, because I liked writing. I just like writing stories and stuff. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Writing a narrative essay. I can't decide. You know what? I'll describe the characters first, and then I'll read the narrative essay. Hello! Okay, so I'm going to describe the characters for my narrative essay. Writing a narrative essay about a character who is not what they appear to be. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. Yeah, I wrote a lot. Let's start with the main character, Ava Wilson. A cruel vampire, 17, 5'7". Long, silky white hair, blood red eyes that glow in the dark. A long black dress with long sleeves and sharp fangs that are retractable. A vampire who is actually very kind but can't control her temptation and struggles with being herself. Nico Philcutt. A cat boy who is kind and happy all the time. A puffy calico cat/human boy. He has cat ears and a tail, whiskers and green piercing cat eyes, white fur all over his body, puffy white hair that covers his left eye, a cat nose, and is 16 and 5'1". He wears a black hoodie and sweatpants. A cat boy who is very self-conscious and depressed. He could transform into an actual cat, because why not? Okay, Sheriff Ralph. Ralph Harrison. Harris, actually, not Harrison. Okay, a nice, kind sheriff who helps everyone in the village. Human. 36, 6'8", brown hair and a goatee, peach-colored eyes. He wears a brown cowboy hat and a brown uniform and a sheriff's belt and badge. What he really is. A cruel sheriff who is very narcissistic, hates everyone except for himself, but the one he hates the most is Ava. And in the next character, Jasper Philcutt. A snobby big brother who is human, loud, confident, and very competitive with his little brother, Nico. He wears a black long-sleeve shirt, blue jeans, and has white hair and green eyes. He's 17 and 5'8". What he really is, a snobby big brother that is just jealous of his little brother's kindness. Next character. Mr. Funnelcakes, Terry Watson. A 24-year-old man who owns the bakery called the Funnelcake Fun Cake Bakery. He's 6'3" with blue eyes and brown hair. He wears a baking apron that says Funnelcake Fun Cake Bakery in red icing style letters, and he wears blue jeans. Because why not? I always make my characters wear blue jeans if I can't decide what they wear. Just some type of jeans. He's very kind and nice to everyone. What he really is. A 24-year-old man that pretends to be nice to everyone. He helps Ava by covering up her whereabouts so the sheriff doesn't find her. He uses black magic to track her and hide her because Ava reminds him of when he was younger, but behind all of that, he is working with the sheriff, because why not? We're gonna do 2 backstabbings. Sheriff Claire, Maddie Claire, a kind 40-year-old lady that has purple hair that was definitely dyed that color, and light orange eyes. She wears a brown sheriff's hat, a brown uniform, a sheriff's belt, and a badge. She's 5'7". She has nothing to hide. Next character, Nurse Tessa, Tessa Harrison. There's a difference. Tessa Harrison, because Harrison, and then Sheriff Ralph is Ralph Harris. I know that's confusing because it makes them look like they're related, but it's not. They're not related. A kind and nice nurse who loves doing her job. She's 24 and 4'3". Very short. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She wears a nurse outfit from the 90s. What she's hiding. For the next book, if I do make one, is that she is secretly poisoning the blood supply, but for book 1, she has nothing to hide. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the characters, and then I'll get into the actual story. And thank you to that one person who just stuck around and then left. Well, it's fine. I am totally don't care. Lovely. Hello to that one person who just joined. I am going to read a little bit of the story before I start, or at least half of it. Okay. Who is the main character? Who are the important major characters? What is the relationship between the characters like? Ava Wilson is the main character. Important minor characters are Nico Philcutt, Sheriff Ralph Harrison, his full name, Harris, not Harrison, Jasper Philcutt, and Mr. Funnelcakes, Terry Watson. Ava has a crush on Nico, but Nico is scared of her. Ava is scared of Sheriff Ralph because he's trying to capture her. Sheriff Ralph knows she's actually nice, but doesn't want anyone else to know because he thinks people will find out who he really is. Ava doesn't like Jasper much. She thinks he's annoying. Jasper secretly likes Ava, even though he's very scared of her. Ava and Mr. Funnelcakes are like father and daughter, always helping each other like family. Setting. When and where does the story take place? Will the setting change throughout the story? What is the character's connections to the setting? A dark, foggy forest at night under a bright moon. The setting will change to a village in an alternate 90s timeline. The action then moves to Mr. Funnelcakes Bakery, and then back to the forest, and then back to the village, and then back to the bakery, and then to the forest again, and then to a modern hospital. This point of view, I wanted to make it first person, but it's going to be third person because it was third person. Because if I made it for a person, I would get really mixed up with the past tense and the present tense, and I want it to be made in the present tense. Third person limited. The story is told from outside the story. There is no other narrator. Conflict. Okay, here we go, guys. I get it. I'm probably boring you and weighing you down with all the details of the story, and you probably just want to hear it, or you don't want to even listen to what I am reading to you. Which it seems like that is the case, because I have no viewers right now. But that is fine. I am glad to share this, even if you are watching the recording. Okay, this story is called The Misunderstood. It's by me. I wrote it. I mean, I typed it, but it's like an essay I made. I hope you guys like this. It took me like 2 whole days or 3, but that's fine. I had projects that taken me like 2 months to do. It's whatever. The moon shines. Oh my goodness! Can at least one person stay and watch? I mean, seriously, I just saw one person join and then one person leave. This is sad for me. I mean, I guess people don't want to hear me read. But that's fine, I guess. I'm totally not crying right now. Yeah, I'm not crying. I'm just really sad that you guys don't want to stick around. The moon shines bright in the night sky, and fog covers the forest floor like a cold blanket. Ava stares down at the frozen tear that covers the villager's face. The temptation when the villager was alive was too strong. She stands there, looking at the villager's lifeless and hopeless body. Her black dress was a shadow in the night. Her sharp fangs made her look unworldly. She feels as lifeless. Oh my goodness. She feels as lifeless and hopeless as the villager. Ava appears to be a cruel person, but in reality, she's a nice person that struggles with temptation. The ally and the hunter. Just then, Ava senses a presence walking towards her. She knew who it was, but wondered why anyone would want to help her. Mr. Funnelcakes walks up and pats her shoulder the way a parent would. Ava, stop blaming yourself all the time. Mr. Funnelcakes says, I'm sorry if I'm a little monotone in my voice. Mr. Funnelcakes says, you're not that cruel. You just have to learn to control it a little better. I don't want that so-called nice sheriff finding out you're still here after being banished. Mr. Funnelcakes says, Mr. Funnelcakes is always kind to everyone. Why me? Wait, no. Why do you help me? Ava says. There has to be something more than that. We can talk later. We can talk more later. We have to go now, Mr. Funnelcakes says impatiently. Ava can tell Mr. Funnelcakes is getting frustrated, so she stays quiet as she walks with him. Ava does not ask another question. They soon arrive at the village. To Ava's left, she sees houses. To her right is Mr. Funnelcake's bakery. She always thought the name was a dumb play on words. The Funnelcake Fun Cake Bakery, but there was no time for that. She follows Mr. Funnelcakes inside. Ava opens the door and hears a sound from one of the windows. Shh, Mr. Funnelcakes whispers. She sees it is Sheriff Ralph. Sheriff Ralph. Sheriff Ralph is kind to everyone, but Ava knows he hates her. Go hide, Ava, Mr. Funnelcakes whispers. He's going to ask me why I wasn't home past curfew. Ava nods and hides behind the bakery counter. Sheriff Ralph knocks on the door. Mr. Funnelcakes answers. Mr. Terry Watson, why are you up past curfew? Sheriff Ralph asks in a rude tone. I just woke up, because I wanted a midnight snack. Mr. Funnelcake says. Is that so? Sheriff Ralph replies skeptically. If you were going to get a midnight snack, then how come you've been gone for an hour? He then says. And why is there that metallic smell in the air? Ava is scared. She knows Sheriff Ralph wouldn't fall for a dumb lie. This could be the last time she sees Mr. Funnelcakes, or it's going to be a very close call. The warm smell of bread and sugar wraps the bakery like a warm blanket. The scent usually made her feel safe, but tonight the faint metallic tang under it pulls at something inside her. She swallows and stays silent. Stays still. I should have said silent. A small puff of hot air blows on Ava's back. When she turns, she sees Nico, the cat boy, asleep on a stool, peacefully. Nico is happy and he is happy and always smiling. She glances at his neck and then looks away and whispers, "No, you already had your fill." Sheriff Ralph glances towards the counter. "Why is Nico here?" he says. "I tried to wake him earlier, after his shift, but he wouldn't wake up." Mr. Funnelcake says, "If you're not going to wake him up, I will." Sheriff Ralph taps Nico's shoulder and leans in. "Go home if you want to sleep." Nico jolts awake. Why am I here?" he asks, still half asleep. You fell asleep after your shift," Mr. Funnelcakes tells him. With a smile, Nico's Oh wait, no. Mr. Funnelcakes tells him with a smile. Nico spots Ava, and she presses a finger to her lips, signaling shush. Next page. Sheriff Ralph says, "Nico, you can't leave now. It's past curfew. You might as well stay here." Sheriff Ralph then says, "You should get some rest. And as for you, Terry, I will let you off the hook with a warning." Sheriff Ralph winks at Mr. Funnelcakes before he exits the bakery. Nico turns to Mr. Funnelcakes confused. "Why wake me if I'm just going to sleep here? And why is she here?" he asks in a shaky voice. Didn't the sheriff banish her from town? "Well, she is, but I know she can't survive in the woods all alone, so I brought her here," Mr. Funnelcakes says. Nico looks to Mr. Funnelcakes and says in a scared and surprised voice, "Are you insane?" He then says, "Sheriff Ralph is gonna hurt us if he doesn't." Mr. Funnelcakes says, "I was trying to find a way to stop her from losing control," Nico says in a sarcastic tone. "And how is that going for you?" Mr. Funnelcakes says, "Not well." Nico then says, "You should go. We should get some sleep." Mr. Funnelcakes says, "Agreed." Sometime later, the sun rises. Ava enters torpor. Then she wakes up and it's midnight, and it's night again. Mr. Funnelcakes says, last morning, the sheriff announced they were lifting the law for curfew for a festival of some sorts. I believe the sheriff might know you're still in town and trying to make a search party. Betrayal and grudge. That is the next chapter. Ava says in a concerned and scared voice to Mr. Funnelcakes, "What are we going to do if that is the case, Terry?" Mr. Funnelcakes says, "I'm not really sure." Ava asks, "What time does it start?" Mr. Funnelcakes says, 10:30? Ava says confusingly. "What happened to Nico?" Mr. Funnelcake says, he went home in the morning. Somehow, Ava felt like she was being lied to. But if this was the case, she would play it cool. Ava took a deep breath, knowing that she needed to keep calm and pretend she did not see through his lie. She wondered how someone she knew, like family, could lie to her. This did not feel right. Like there was something very off. Ava says, "Why don't we Hello." Ava says, "Why don't we beat the sheriff to it then? You could hide me somewhere while the festivities are going on, so the sheriff does not find me." Mr. Funnelcake says, "Great idea. I have the perfect place." A few minutes later, Ava and Mr. Funnelcakes are walking together. Ava asks, "Why here, though?" Mr. Funnelcake says, "You will see." Then they arrive. Ava realizes it was a trap. She was led to the forest, and she feels a sharp ache rip through her chest. She falls into torpor. She could watch but not act. Sheriff Ralph shows up and says, looking to Mr. Funnelcakes, "Did you do it?" Mr. Funnelcakes says to Sheriff Ralph, "Yes, and that pesky little cat boy has escaped from the bakery." Sheriff Ralph says, "He is going to ruin the plans if we can't catch him." Then Mr. Funnelcakes and Sheriff Ralph walk away. Ava could only hope that someone would find her. A few minutes later, she sees a glimpse of green cat eyes. She knew who it is. Nico. Nico says, "I overheard their plans while hiding behind a tree. I'm here to help you. Here to help." Ava feels the sharp ache in her chest slowly go away, but she also felt something else. Ava felt she was no longer in control. As she watched the horror unfold, Nico managed to stop her, and she felt the sharp ache in her chest again, which is actually like a stake because she's a vampire, and when someone puts a stake in the vampire's heart, it doesn't kill them. It just makes them fall into like it makes them like paralyzed almost. They can only watch. They can't act, they can't like talk, they can't do anything, just watch. Okay, where was I now? Ava feels the sharp ache in her chest again. Nico looks frightened. As he looks at Ava, he then says, laughing nervously, maybe I wait until you are all calm to do that again." Nico and Ava could both see Sheriff Ralph and Mr. Funnelcakes were coming back. Nico hid behind a tree. What do we plan on doing with her now that she is almost out of the picture? Mr. Funnelcakes asks to Sheriff Ralph while walking. Sheriff Ralph says to Mr. Funnelcakes, "She can't fight back, so why not just leave her like this?" Sheriff Ralph says, and then looks at the animal tracks. "I think we might have a visitor." Mr. Funnelcakes then sees the tracks and says, I think you're right." The two of them follow the animal tracks and see Nico. Nico was running as fast as he could, but not fast enough. Mr. Funnelcakes and Sheriff Ralph catch up to Nico, and Sheriff Ralph says to Nico, "You're coming with me." Ava watches as Nico follows Sheriff Ralph and disappears from her sight. Mr. Funnelcakes says to Ava, "Looks like your cat friend is gone now." Something in Ava snapped. She thought in her mind, it's either I'm stuck here for basically ever, or I could give in. She knows the only way out of this is the second option. But she needs a way to get free from what made her only watch. She needs to trick Mr. Funnelcakes somehow into helping her get free from her restraints. Ava looks at Mr. Funnelcakes with a blank stare. She can't move or do anything but watch. Mr. Funnelcakes looks at Ava and says, You will see that it is all for your own good, Ava. Mr. Funnelcakes then says, You just have to trust me on this. Ava could tell Mr. Funnelcakes felt creeped out by her stare. Mr. Funnelcakes then says, finally giving in, If I undo your restraints, will you stop giving me that blank stare? Mr. Funnelcakes walks over to Ava. Ava could feel the sharp ache that rips through her chest dissipating as the beast comes to the fore. It was like she was a spectator from outside of her body. She could do nothing but watch as the horror unfolded, and the grudge she had slowly disappearing. Then, when that is all said and done, she stares at the once alive and well to now pale and lifeless Mr. Funnelcakes, then ran to the bakery. Her fingernails, once smooth and trimmed, now sharp like claws. Her fangs oh my goodness, I can't read it. Her fangs glistened in the night with the warm red liquid. Her speed was even faster than a cheetah's as she hurried to the bakery. In that moment, she felt a sense of freedom. Even though she wanted to get rid of this side of herself, that sense of freedom quickly turned into fear as she realized she was becoming that of what people believed her to be. She slowly snapped out of her haze that the monster inside of her made her believe. But now was not the time for her to feel for the feeling she feels. A few minutes later, she arrives. Her fangs and claws slowly disappear, and all that is left is her. Sheriff Ralph looked to Ava and says, How did you escape? Ava could see Nico tied up. He is looking to Ava with pleading eyes. She looked back to the sheriff and sees Nico's snobby big brother. Next page. Oh, I skipped. There we go. Snobby big brother Jasper, standing next to the sheriff. Jasper says, This was not the plan. Sheriff Ralph says, I will deal with this. You go and take Nico with you. Ava watches Jasper drag Nico out of the bakery by the rope that is restraining Nico. Sheriff Ralph looks to Ava and says, in an annoyed tone, I just want you out of the picture. The town would be under my full control if you could just disappear. If you would just disappear. But you can't take a hint, can you? Ava says, Now I see how you really are, Sheriff. A manipulative, narcissistic person. Sheriff Ralph claps a little and says, You put the dots together. But I'm afraid you're almost out of time, Ava. Sheriff Ralph Sheriff Ralph points to the window that shows the sun slowly rising. He then says in a narcissistic voice with a smile, "Oh, oh no. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to read the rest of this to you guys later because it looks like my time is running out. But I promise I will finish this when I get the time. As always, bye everybody. I hope you have a blessed afternoon and night or day, whatever time it is for you when you're watching this. And bye everybody. Bye.